Welcome back, WICR, to Roommate Rivalry. We are now joined by the full cast. We got Joe, Ant, and Petey completely on board. And Joe, how you doing?
How's it going? You're looking good. Nice jersey.
Thank you. Nice jersey, too. I told you I would wear the cam if the Panthers won, which they did. And how was your math class?
My math class?
How was your quiz, by the way?
We did really good.
Yeah, hundreds. Me and Ant hundreds.
Proud of you guys. Joe, I know Joe's dad's watching, so he's very happy. All right, now we're gonna get into this college football. I have so many problems with the AP Top 25 poll. I think it is. I called it a disgrace. I don't think that they. I just feel like there was no logic put into this. I think they kind of guessed. Some of it seems like it was completely based off 1 week. So I have a lot of problems, and I guess I have to, pick one at a time. And I'm going to probably start with the fact that I don't agree with Notre Dame being out of the top 5. They're an undefeated team. They beat a ranked team in Stanford, who going into that game was the best defense in the nation. If I'm not mistaken, Notre Dame has the 3rd best defense in the nation, and they haven't lost yet. They're not barely beating teams. They're beating them by good margins. The Stanford game was close, but that's a ranked team. Ahead of them, you have Florida State and Auburn, 100% deservingly. Mm-hmm. But then you see Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Baylor, and you can make a case for Notre Dame to be ahead of both Mississippi State and Baylor, in my opinion, for sure. There's no possible way that you could say that they both can be in front of them, because whichever argument you use, then the other one would discredit them. People think I think Ole Miss deserves to be there. They beat Alabama.
Well, look, I'm gonna agree with you. I believe Notre Dame should be in the top 5, but only should be switching positions with Baylor.
Okay.
I see, like, Notre Dame, they played a ranked team, Stanford, but Stanford was only 14. So they were a lower rank than Notre Dame. Ole Miss and Mississippi State played higher ranks than them, so more competitive game. And I believe Baylor, they should be ranked like pretty high, but the teams they played aren't like as good as so far as Notre Dame played. So that's why I think Baylor should go back and Notre Dame should be in 5th.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Baylor should be in the 5th seed because Baylor has the best offense with the 5th best defense.
Okay, but this is the thing.
Who they played?
This is the
first
thing.
5 games.
Yeah, but it's not like they're winning 23-20.
I understand that, but the problem is
64
they're
points.
playing Northwestern State. Do you even know Northwestern State? Do you ever know
listen,
Northwestern State?
When you say that Notre Dame doesn't belong to be in that, it's normally because you say they don't play good teams, and that's why you justify Mississippi State jumping them. Which I still, they beat LSU, but right now LSU just is no longer ranked. And that has a lot to do with the spanking that Auburn
They beat
put
them when they were number 8,
you.
though.
Mississippi, they did, but realistically, you could say they beat them when they were number 8, but they were not playing like a number 8, and they only beat them by 5.
I'm gonna have to agree.
Auburn, you see how much Auburn beat them by.
I'm gonna have to agree. They were ranked number 8. It's early, it was early in the season.
But I'm saying, so you can justify that if you can, if that's what you're gonna base on, then you can justify Mississippi State being there. But then if you're gonna compare the strength of schedule, Notre Dame's is so much harder than what Baylor has faced, and they 100% then should, based off what they're doing by letting teams jump because of who they played, they should jump Baylor. Baylor has not played anyone yet.
I know, I agree with that.
This coming week, they play TCU, and that is going to be a very big game because it's Baylor's chance to show that they are this deserving of top 5 team. And then TCU, who got this jump from 25 to 9 for their win against Oklahoma.
The 2nd best defense in the nation.
Who?
TCU.
Okay, listen, I'm not saying that they're bad. I think that TCU is good, but that's it's what, 14? The jump, that's definitely wrong math.
Yeah, but
16. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm sure
they went from
TCU was playing great, but Baylor hasn't played anyone, and when you tell me that Notre Dame deserves to be passed by these SEC teams, then Notre Dame deserves to pass Baylor.
I believe that they should pass Baylor, but only Baylor. Yeah. I mean, Notre Dame has played great teams. They played Michigan. Look, they're not as good.
Michigan just lost to Rutgers.
They're not as good as they usually are in the past years, but they're still Michigan. Michigan football always produces.
Not this year, though.
Okay, so they beat Michigan. They beat Purdue. They beat a 3-0 Syracuse in New York. And they beat Stanford. Yeah, but I mean,
but you don't feel like,
like-
so you disagree? You don't think Notre Dame
Okay.
should be in the top
so
five?
now look at Baylor.
I'm just disagreeing with those games.
Okay,
That's
but-
the
okay,
Stanford
now-
one was obviously
okay.
impressive.
But
But
look,
what
look
I'm
at Baylor. Baylor
but
played
even
a 0-4.
do you think that
SMU.
Notre Dame should be in the top five, or do you feel like they're properly ranked at 6?
No, I think they're right there, 6.
So
I think-
why should they not jump Baylor?
Because I think Baylor's offense is too good not to be top 5.
Yeah.
But
But has
who
it
have
has
they played that has tested
yeah,
that defense?
exactly?
But they put up
Oh,
70 points.
they're balling teams right now.
East Carolina put up like 70 points. Like, and I mean they're ranked, but they're only
not,
ranked
they're not better
19.
offense than Baylor.
But I'm saying college football teams put up 70. When you play when you're a big time school and you play these little time schools, you put up 70. If you don't, it's a bad day at the office.
Yes, but let's see what they do this week. They're resting the second best defense in the nation.
All right, so
Baylor.
Yeah, if they win, they'll deserve.
If they
There's
win,
no
if they
question.
win like last
Yeah,
week,
Baylor's playing TCU this week. I mean,
if they win like they beat Texas, then they're definitely number 5.
well,
Number 4
all right.
possibly.
Well, we'll see.
you got to
We-
see how the team plays against
look,
tougher competition.
there's still a whole lot more problems with this, so we're gonna have to. Here's my second biggest problem. Mississippi State is getting first place votes. How is that any bit justifiable? But Ole Miss is not. How can Mississippi State, ranked 12th, beat the 6th best team in the nation and get first place votes?
That's because they beat a number 8 LSU at the time, number 6 Texas A&M, and they have a Heisman
That's a good
winner
point.
right now.
That's a good point.
Okay, but so
Heisman
so
runner?
so they deserve to jump Auburn?
No, I don't
Yeah,
think.
if you're gonna
Well,
make that
that's- I don't
argument,
know.
They only got what 2
They only
votes.
have 2 votes.
Two
but that's what I'm
votes to
saying,
jump
but,
Auburn.
But,
Come
but,
on.
but why are they getting the votes?
Because people love their momentum and everything.
Alright, 'cause
the way
people-
the team's playing.
Exactly. People
All right,
see it.
that's all right. That I guess. Next problem. They did Oregon so dirty. Oregon loses to Arizona at home. Terrible loss. And no way they should lose this game. They're now ranked 12th, and above them 2 spots is Arizona at 10, and then another 2 spots is Michigan State at 8.
And Arizona wasn't even ranked
Arizona,
before this week.
Arizona not
They weren't even
ranked,
ranked.
is now 10th.
crazy.
Is now 10th. So for you to put them at 10, that means they're a very good team, which means you shouldn't like take that away from Oregon for losing, because that means that you think this is a very, very good football team. And you put Michigan State above both of these teams when Michigan State lost by a lot to Oregon.
19.
Yeah, that's a lot for what's supposed to be a good team. That's a lot.
Well, I mean, I could kind of see how Arizona's in front of Oregon because okay, I think Oregon they can be more teams, better teams than I think Arizona can, but Arizona just beat Oregon, so I think they have to put Arizona in front of Oregon.
But see, my problem, my complaint comes less from where Arizona is placed, and it really comes from
Michigan State.
Michigan State. If you're going to put Michigan State above
Well, there you
Oregon
go.
based on who's the hotter team, I guess, and I still don't agree with that because they beat them.
But I'm saying,
But
like,
Arizona just is undefeated and beat the team that they lost to, and they're still 2 spots behind them.
So like, what you're trying to say is like, you see how Arizona beat Oregon and they're in front of them. Oregon beat Michigan State, but Michigan State is in front of Oregon.
And that's
so that's a little.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I just
that's a little
feel
wrong.
like if whatever you use to justify some of the things that they did, you can easily prove some of the things that they did and what shows that they're wrong. And I feel like it's incorrect and it wasn't right. And the other problem that I have, and it's actually a minor one. It's not as big. I don't agree with Georgia being put ahead of Texas A&M.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Texas A&M lost 1 game. Georgia lost 1 game. Now, Texas A&M loss comes against a team that is now getting first place votes and the number 3 overall seed, Mississippi State, which means they lost to a team that is absolutely legit. Absolutely legit, and they get bumped down 8 spots.
What I feel about this one about Texas A&M and Georgia, honestly, I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think it makes a difference at all. I believe that no matter what, like even like the Michigan State, Oregon, everything, it's still early in the season. That there was like what 5 upsets this week. There's gonna be more upsets, and it's
But
gonna
the
constantly
thing
change.
The thing is,
It's gonna constantly
first of all,
change.
there has to be consistency in how you rank these teams. Texas A&M beat the bricks
Okay, so
Off
they
of
won
South-
behind. They won
off
behind
of,
Georgia.
off of
It's
South
not-
Carolina,
not
and
that
Georgia
big a deal.
lost to them.
I
That's
mean,
a
yeah,
big deal. And this is the thing. You have to understand this, right? If both teams run the table, Georgia and Texas A&M, how do you justify Texas A&M jumping Georgia? If they were ranked ahead of them, then they should stay ahead of them if they run the table. That's the problem. If you can't put teams there based on 1 week. If you look at the two teams' losses, Texas A&M's is much more reasonable considering how good everyone now feels Mississippi State is.
Georgia only lost by 3.
Okay, and Texas A&M, give me.
Yeah, but like Georgia's been the last 3 weeks. They won 66 to nothing.
Who'd they play?
Troy. Doesn't matter.
They played a tough game against Tennessee. That was a
35-32.
tough game. I remember watching that. That
Vanderbilt,
was
44-17 this past Saturday. They're on a run right now. It's not based on that one loss.
Okay,
Yeah.
but so for one
demolishing teams.
for okay,
Besides
you said that
Tennessee.
they lost by 3 to South Carolina.
Mhm.
Yes.
The final score of the Texas A&M South Carolina game was 52-28.
Okay.
Okay.
They destroyed a team that beat
Okay,
Georgia.
Yeah, but they just lost. That's why
Okay,
Georgia's
but
ahead.
now,
But that's what I'm saying.
Okay, but
it's compiled of everything.
Okay.
You can't take
Everything.
it. One
Okay, but
week
Walsh.
cannot. It's not based on 1 week.
did you see? All right, look at Georgia's schedule. They played Clemson. That was ranked what, number 16. They played.
They beat
so
by
wait,
24.
They played South Carolina. They played Troy. They played Tennessee. They played Vanderbilt. Now you take a look at Texas A&M schedule. They played South Carolina the same. Then they played Lamar. Do you even know who Lamar is? They played
Do you know who
Rice.
Troy is?
They played. Okay, but listen, they played Rice. They played
Troy?
SMU, which is 0-4, and then they played Arkansas. So look at the teams that Texas A&M played, and look at the teams that Georgia played. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
Texas
So
A&M schedule's gonna be.
I mean,
this
look
is,
at Texas
this is
A&M.
my thing.
Come
All right.
on,
So
like,
this
look,
is my thing, right? Who's worse? Whose loss can you justify more?
But-
Texas A&M losing to the team that is now ranked 3rd and getting first place votes, or Georgia who loses to the team that is not ranked. Where are they ranked?
I would say
where's South
okay,
Carolina
but
ranked?
This is what I have to say.
24.
I would say Georgia.
At the time.
At the time.
I would
Also,
say-
where were they ranked at the time?
Okay, but Georgia
24?
has.
24.
Okay, because at that time when Texas A&M beat them 52-28, they were ranked 9.
Okay, but Georgia has played tougher competition. And
How?
They have.
How?
Look at
How?
the schedule.
Look at the schedule. Yeah,
They played tougher competition.
How?
They played tougher competition. Look, I just named the teams. Like,
Yeah,
they played.
Yeah, but they beat
They
South
went to overtime
Carolina.
with Arkansas.
They lost to
Texas
South Carolina.
Overtime.
Okay, but
And
now,
they
but you're
beat
making it
the
sound like
team
you're
that
making
Georgia
you're
lost
making it
to.
sound like Texas A&M is so far back. They're one behind Georgia.
But
It's
what
not
I'm
a big deal.
okay, but this
It
is
not
my
a big
point.
deal.
There has to be consistency in putting together the polls.
Consistency. It could go. Look, I believe that both of you were saying that Texas A&M should be in front, and me and him are saying that Georgia should be. So, 2 people and 2 people. So, look, it could go both ways. So that's
So,
that-
but
it's
so
not a
why
big
do you-
deal. If
So
one-
you think that they should be in front of them for what? For what? For what reason? Because
Competition and their consistency as of 3 games.
yeah.
Yeah, but they lost to the team that.
That's the only thing you have.
That's the only
Is
thing
that
we
lit?
need.
Like, come on,
that's
like,
all you need. They lost by
No,
3.
no,
They
that's
won.
not all you need.
They
That's
won
not all you need
52
for-
to
that's not all you
28.
need for
They
ranking.
won 52
That's
to
not all you
28.
need. That's not
They
all you
won.
need.
They
Off of one
beat.
game, that's all you need.
They beat them by
You said it's the whole
24.
package, not one game. That's what you told
Look,
us.
But look at who they lost to. Okay, Georgia's loss comes to a team that Texas A&M beats by 24, and Texas A&M loss came to a team that is
Okay.
ranked 3rd.
Okay, look, I'm gonna compare this to something. It's still football, but it's the NFL. The Chargers beat the Seahawks, right?
Right.
And the Seahawks beat the Broncos. Now, if the Broncos beat the Chargers, like it's the same thing. Like you could say the Seahawks are still. You could say, all right, the Broncos are better than the Seahawks because they beat the team that beat them. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
No,
it
but now
has
you're
nothing to do. It
involving-
has about other teams that they played, and the teams that Georgia has played were tougher competition than what Texas A&M
Why?
has
Because
been faced.
because they played Clemson.
Clemson was a ranked team.
Okay,
so
but
was
Georgia
South
was
Carolina,
ranked,
and they played Tennessee. They look
South Carolina
was
ranked 9 when Texas A&M
three or four of the games that Texas A&M played were against teams that
And-
had no chance against.
How many
anyone.
ranked teams has Georgia played? 2, right?
2, yeah.
Two.
I believe so.
South
Okay.
Carolina, Clemson.
And Texas A&M has played 2 ranked teams. Now Georgia beat 1 ranked team, Clemson,
Okay. And Texas A&M.
and Texas A&M beat 1 ranked team, South Carolina.
Okay.
Texas A&M lost to 1 ranked team, the current 3 in the whole nation. Georgia lost to a team that lost by 24 to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Listen, Georgia's good. They deserve to be ranked. They don't deserve to be ranked ahead of them. And what I'm trying to say to you, and this is why I think the one thing, this is why it matters. If Georgia runs the table the rest of the year, and so does Texas A&M, neither of them lose a game. How do you justify Texas A&M jumping Georgia if they both run the table?
Oh, well, Texas A&M is versing Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn, Missouri. Obviously, they'd be ahead of them. They should probably be top 5 if they run the table.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying is,
We're just basing out the first, was it 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 weeks?
I don't understand how. Their loss came to a team that they beat by
honestly,
24.
like,
I mean, I guess
I don't-
it's
I don't see
it's
it as
picky,
something
but
that- I don't see it as something. It could be debatable, and I don't see it as a big deal if one's in front of the other. Honestly.
well, next week is going to be another amazing week of college football. I believe it's Ole Miss and Texas A&M, and then Auburn, Mississippi State. So right there, I mean, you're gonna have shakes within this top.
Yeah,
Auburn, Mississippi State.
Yeah. Even Oregon's playing UCLA.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good game.
and UCLA also
And
who had
West Coast
gotten
team.
upset.
Florida State's versus Notre Dame.
That's 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's 2
And
weeks.
TCU Baylor.
TCU Baylor.
There
So
you go.
we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week. Now we are gonna take a very quick break and get right back to this NFL. Please stick with us on WICR. You are listening to Roommate Rivalry.